What is going on, New York Giants fans? D-Illa here. This is not going to be a long video at all. In this video, we're going to talk about Deebo Samuel. I know there's a lot of people in this fan base that are on board with trying to bring Deebo Samuel onto this football team. If you had asked me 2 or 3 years ago if I would have been okay with bringing on Deebo Samuel to this football team, absolutely. He did everything he possibly could on that football field for the San Francisco 49ers, from kick return, coming out of the backfield as a running back, and being a good wide receiver option, especially close to the line of scrimmage. He was the ultimate player on offense. The only thing that always hurt Deebo Samuel was his ability to run routes. And that simple fact is the reason why the San Francisco 49ers decided to pay Brandon Ayuk last year and are now exploring options as far as trading Deebo Samuel. But I want you to think about a couple other things when it comes to Deebo Samuel. Think about how important he was to the running game for the 49ers and how many attempts he would get in that backfield. Look at Christian McCaffrey. There's so many question marks when it comes to the San Francisco 49ers backfield. They don't know what they're getting out of Christian McCaffrey this year. It's a complete mystery, just like it was last season. That man literally has bilateral tendonitis in both of his Achilles. If you're a running back in the NFL, good luck getting that to go away. Hell, it'd be tough for an everyday Joe just to make that stuff go away, working a 9 to 5. Just think about when you're carrying the ball as a running back and when you come in contact with a defensive lineman, cornerback, and you continue to turn your legs. Think about all the stress that is putting on your Achilles. And he has it in both legs. You can do all the physical therapy and all the treatment that you want after practice during the season. Good luck managing that stuff. I don't like Christian McCaffrey's chances of ever returning back to the player that he once was, especially with all the carries that Kyle Shanahan has put on him over the past 2 seasons. And this is a Kyle Shanahan offense. I mean, it all revolves around the running game. So why would the 49ers be so willing to get rid of Deebo Samuel, knowing how important he is to their running game, and with all the questions surrounding a guy like Christian McCaffrey? Are they really that confident in a guy like Isaac Guerendo and Jordan Mason? Even though Jordan Mason filled in very, very well for Christian McCaffrey during the time he was out. Even Isaac Guerendo towards the end of the season. And just think about the 49ers wide receiver core as a whole. Of course, they drafted Ricky Pearsall last year out of Florida. They have Juwan Jennings, who stepped up last season. He also showed the ability in past seasons. He just never really got the time on the field because Deebo Samuel was there along with Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle. There's still a lot of question marks as far as what that wide receiver core can give that team, especially with Brandon Ayuk still coming back from the injury that he sustained last season. Nobody knows if he'll even be ready for week number 1. So my question is, if everybody seems to believe that Deebo Samuel is still this great player, all the questions that the 49ers have right now surrounding that offense, why are they so willing to allow Deebo Samuel to go out there and look for a trade partner? Now I'm going to put up Deebo's stats from 2023 and 2024. You're going to see a couple of good games as far as receiving goes towards the end of 2023, but you're going to see a lot of 30 and 40-yard games sprinkled in there. As far as his rushing attempts go in 2023, you're going to see a very high yards per carry average for Deebo Samuel in 2023. In 2024, that all seemed to shift. Again, he had a couple of good games at the beginning of the season, but much of his second half was filled with lackluster performances. And if you watch Deebo Samuel very closely last year towards the end of the year, when the 49ers gave him opportunities to do things with the ball in his hands, he did not look like the same player. He may fall into that same category as a Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp, guys that legitimately could have hit the wall at the NFL level. And I would be extremely weary of these players, especially if you're going to entertain the idea of giving them some kind of big-time contract.